All right, so we're going to finish the section off with an example just kind of summarizing our categorical distributions. So when summarizing graphs of categorical data, and we're going to report our mode or modes and then describe the variability or diversity of our data set. Okay. In example 3, according to some experts, about 51.5% of babies currently born in the United States are male. But among people 100 and 104 years old, there are 4 times as many women as men, according to the U.S. Census Bureau in 2000. How does this happen? One possibility is that the percent of boys has changed over time. Another possibility is presented below. These bar charts show the numbers of deaths per 100,000 people in 1 year for people ages 15 to 24 years for both males and females. Right, so we want to compare the distributions. Right, so the first thing we want to look at when we're comparing distributions is to look at our actual categories. Look at the order that our data is presented in. Right, in this case, our data is presented using the same categories in the same order. Okay. Another thing we want to look at is we want to look at our scale of each graph. So notice that our bars are kind of similar in height, but if we compare our scales on our vertical axis, well, this scale goes up to 40, this one only goes up to 18. So these are very different. All right, males versus females comparison. If we look at it, the leading cause of death in that age range is both motor vehicle accident. So we're going to make a few observations here. So motor vehicle accident is highest for both. All male totals are higher because of the scale. So that is also something worth mentioning. And then if we actually compare our different values, if we were to go through and look at each different category, diseases appears to be the closest. Again, here's where paying attention to that scale comes in handy. Diseases here, it looks like about 10%, and same thing here. So those tend to be the closest, other kind of right around there as well. Right now, in this bottom picture, notice the following graph makes the comparisons of the same distributions even a little bit easier. Right, so now it is color-coded, which is a little bit difficult to see in our black and white picture here, but the first column in each of these is representing the male, and the second column of each of these is representing the female. Right, so now we have all of our data from the 2 different groups and all of our categories organized into the same bar chart. Right, so what do we notice? We notice that motor vehicle accident is still the highest for both. Notice that it's very easy to tell that all of the male totals are much higher. And we can also see that diseases appear to be the closest. Right? So what do we notice? So we're going to say here, we can draw the same conclusions . Right? Just much more quickly, right, when we're looking at these in a picture together. Right, so depending on the type of summarization we want to do, depending on the type of analysis we want to do of our data sets, what type of comparisons, it could be useful for us to kind of take data from a couple of different bar charts and put it into one, so that way we can make comparisons more easily. Right, either way we're thinking about it, we're thinking about our order, we're thinking about our scale, we're looking for our modes, and we're looking for our variability and diversity, right, of these variables.